Alright guys, we got a book review to do. This is the only reason I'm letting you all out of your shoebox prison. So, here you go. Enjoy it. You're going back in after the review.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! Time to conquer Earth!
Boss, that's the wrong show.
What do you mean it's the wrong show?
I mean, it's the wrong show. That's not the show you were on.
Of course it's the show I was on. I'm a Power Ranger. I'm Blue. I'm Billy.
Sorry, boss. Wrong show. That's not the show you were on. Boss, does the name Skeletor ring a bell?
Nope. Not a bit.
Piggy! Does Snake Mountain ring a bell? Does, Merman? Evil N? Trapjaw? Do any of these names ring a bell?
No, they do not. I am a Power Ranger. I am Billy.
Hey guys, look what I found! Hey! Look what I found! They're just laying all over the place!
What is wrong with him?
Well, I guess that's what happens to you after you've been locked away in a shoebox for 30-some years. I mean, just look at... Never mind. Your name is Skeletor. At least you used to be. Anyway, we're Masters of the Universe, and we're here today to talk about the new Masters of the Universe book that was released recently. This is the only reason he let us out of our shoebox prison. So enjoy it, quit being crazy, and let's do this review. Nova Joe, we're turning this back over to you. So, have at it. Hey guys, Nova Joe here. Today I come to you with a little mini review of a book I recently picked up. As the Masters of the Universe announced, it's a new He-Man book. It's called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Mini Comics Collection. This book contains all 68 of the U.S. released comics. It covers the entire action figure line from the 80s, as well as the She-Ra line. It also runs over into the 90s He-Man show. For those of you who grew up in the 80s and remember Masters of the Universe, you remember that when the Barbarian show basically ended, it became a futuristic sci-fi show set off in the future that nobody really cared for, but some of that's in here too. This book contains stories that were written by Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead, as well as Bruce Timm from Batman the Animated Series. This book is chock full of all kinds of wonderful artwork. It's got all the comics in full color, just as you remember them growing up. And what's really special is that down at the bottom of the pages, down here you can see it, it tells little tidbits, little secrets about the characters, the animated show, as well as the action figures. Tells little differences, such as for some of the characters in the first few comics, they were colored differently, and it talks about that, and it tells you why they were colored differently. It explains the whole reasoning behind them changing this and changing that. It's a wonderful hardback book. You can find it for a relatively inexpensive price if you go purchasing it now. I have a feeling this book is going to go up in price because of what all it contains. And my little girl saw it and actually sat down. She's only 4 years old, and wanted me to read her some of the stories out of this. And so we sat down and I read her some stories till she fell asleep out of it. So these stories are still just as wonderful as they were back when we were kids. And if you remember, guys, the action figures themselves each came with a mini comic. So those of you younger folks watching this and that didn't grow up knowing about He-Man or anything about it, He-Man started out as an action figure line. The mythos, the stories, began with the action figures. They came before the TV show, so you're actually going to get some knowledge about that in this book. It's going to explain why there's discrepancies between what the Filmation show, the origins and things like that the Filmation show discusses, compared to what the mini comics talk about. Because the mini comics in the very beginning here, and even some of the latter mini comics, were significantly different than what you saw on the Filmation animated program. So this book goes into all those details about that. It's got the one that I really thought was neat was it's got the original comic book that came with He-Man when he was first released, and it explains where he came from. And it is so drastically different than the Filmation show that I was actually shocked. I never knew that in all these years. So anyway, guys, like I was saying, this book has got all kinds of information in it. It's not just the comics, but it also talks about, like right here, it says, interview with Christy Marks, mini comic writer. So it goes into great detail, really fleshing out the stories behind these stories. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you this, let you know that it is out there, and it is a wonderful, wonderful book for those of you who grew up like I did in the 80s and absolutely loved Masters of the Universe. So anyway, guys, as always, take care, God bless, and keep on gaming and reading.